position. I was bold, thrilled, and totally naive. And yet the dean, recognizing my impulse to stir the pot and work things up, found me to be just the ingredient he needed for shaking up an all-male sculpture department full of wood, stone, and hard right angles. What fun I had challenging the structure of form and introducing unorthodox materials, tangling up the status quo. I was not interested in being a serious artist. Rather, I longed for freedom from whatever felt bound deep within. The art world met my need to shock, while also holding space to transform my angst into curiosity. This metamorphosis resulted in my exploring somatic awareness. Once I discovered that movement changed perception, I was smitten. Through a lens of human potential theories, core awareness became a lifelong inquiry, a flourishing. Exploring the deep sensory system was my portal into wild Psoas. Each dive into my being a bounty of sensory impressions, realizations, and new possibilities. Only after returning from my explorations did I then go looking for validation, or vocabulary through written works and scholarship, in order to substantiate my observations and experiences. My process was organic, as it was led by innate sensibilities. This process was a tracking of sorts, tasting, smelling, touching my way into being me. Although I have no university degrees or traditional certifications to validate my insights, I take heart in the declaration of other pioneering souls who declare their personal experiences as their primary form of training and education. Turning my attention toward what I now call core awareness afforded me the confidence to follow my unique path without a map or guide. Just as a naturalist, biologist, or cosmologist will affirm, each shell and every star is one of a kind. We are all snowflakes with individual fingerprints. Within each life form, I believe, there is a wish, a longing, and a destiny to become. What urges me to continue asking questions has never been the need to heal, but rather a curious desire to play. How might the flow of this biointelligence surging through my fluids reshape my thoughts? What is it to fully thrive? What stops creative exploration? What is the nature of play? How does an open exploration rather than a defined exercise change the way we sense, think, and feel about ourselves? Initially, the impulse came from a deep longing to set myself free. Now my longing manifests from experiencing collaborative play. What began as a calling to land and ground is now a longing to reach out and be touched by life. It occurs to me that this never-ending unfolding is, in reality, the embryological story of embodiment. Essay 1. Changing Our Language, from Body as Object to Body as Process. To become human, one must make room in oneself for the wonders of the universe. South American indigenous saying. Our languaging of body is rapidly changing. The limited, isolated biomechanical language that once defined and shaped our perception of self and other is dissolving. Burgeoning is a biologically rich vocabulary based on a wild calling, coaxing and inviting us to deconstruct and decolonize our static conceptual framework so we can be claimed and emerge from isolation to embrace life as cooperative, expressive, and creative. Now is the time to dissolve the old story and inhabit the new paradigm of body as a living process. You and I have a part to play. This new paradigm is paramount as it supports what always has been and always will be an awakening of coherent life on Earth. The biomechanical perspective. Biomechanics is the conceptual framework that has dominated the Western world for well over 400 years. It is the